Thanks for staying with us. The City of Johannesburg's Emergency Services says it's monitoring the weather in the city as wet weather conditions persist. Parts of the country have been experiencing rainfall since the last week of December, with forecasters predicting more rain next week. So let's get more details now and speak to EMS Spokesperson Radebe Kgiba. Nana, good evening to you and thank you so much for your time. Have there been any incidents at all since we started seeing rainfall since last December?
Fortunately, it started raining yesterday. We have day before yesterday. We have not seen any major calls as yet. Yesterday, there were a number of houses that have flooded at Noordgesig and some parts of Soweto. But on arrival, because it rains and it stops, it had managed to clear off. We have a report today of one person that has been missing. This was reported by the police to say that one person was missing. This is in 4 ways. We have since dispatched rescue technicians to the incident. They are busy taking down information and will start with the rescue to check if that person is there. They said the person was crossing a river yesterday afternoon, reported to the police, and the police, they've reported the incident to us just a few hours ago.
And, you know, you think about this incident that we also saw in Centurion just recently. How concerned are you? Because now there's this one in 4 ways here within your jurisdiction. How concerned are you during this time that people still don't listen and they do cross flooded rivers, be it motorists or even pedestrians?
It's definitely a crisis, as we have seen with flooded roads. People will just look at the road and say, no, my vehicle can pass through here. But you cannot measure the depth of the water with just your eyes. And sometimes it becomes very dangerous for a vehicle to pass through a flooded route where you find people that are stuck, and that route takes you to a river sometimes, and people end up in a river with a vehicle, and it becomes very dangerous. We are checking water levels as well at low-lying areas. This is around your Alex, your Deep Sloot, parts of Soweto where we have lakes, where we know that when we have such incidents, it becomes a crisis. But we are also in contact with the South African Weather Services to give us alerts in case of any flash floods that we might have around the city.
Speaking about the Weather Service and the alerts that they often issue, there's another issue as well that, you know, these yellow level 2, level 3, level 4 that we sometimes see, we can disseminate them as the media, but sometimes they don't reach communities in time. How do you ensure then that, you know, communities also receive this information timelessly?
Like yesterday, we were seeing that the rain is continuing, and it's raining at the depth where river levels would go up. We then have our public information education unit, which would have to go down and ensure that communities get that information. We do also have forums. We also have disaster management within our department, where we're able to communicate with community forums to ensure that the message does get through.
And what about flood-prone areas? Because we sometimes see some areas, for example, one thinks about Yakske, which is often what we, you know, an area we talk about. Those flood-prone areas, what is the plan around them, and how do you then plan to ensure that people do adhere to safety precautions?
It's very difficult. Hence, I've said that we have disaster management. We would then have a plan to ensure that when there is a warning of a flash flood around such area, that people are able to move to a safer place. But most of them would say, I have my belongings, I have things that I have in my house. How do I then move from here and just go up without even seeing anything? At that time, there wouldn't be any flash floods. Someone would want to wait until a flash flood comes through and takes off everything. But we rely on the people that are down there and to ensure that those people move to a place that is high up and be safe for the time being.
What advice do you have for congregants as well? Because we've seen this become an issue over time, that they may now gather and there may be baptisms that are being, you know, taking place, especially in rivers.
We have been going around to different places where we'd find baptismal ceremonies that are happening. And we've also called in traditional healers and church people that go through those to say that now it's raining and the river levels become very high. The amount of the river that you go through every day would not be the same every day when you're going through these rituals. And we have given them advice that they need not go inside the river, but they can be just on the sides, which it's still not a solution, but we have alerted them of the dangers of going into rivers and lakes around the city.
So as we see, rainfall being predicted, what then is your advice, especially to community members that may find themselves with flooded homes and all of that? How do they ensure that they do get help speedily?
I would like for people to remain alert. This is the time that kids are outside playing. Please be vigilant. The stormwater drainage, we've had incidents where kids are found in stormwater drainage systems. Please be alert, and those that are driving, make sure that you can see the car in front of you. Do not drive on flooded roads. And those that are staying at low-lying areas, in case we receive any communication from South African Weather Services, we'll definitely alert you and would want you to move to a place that is safer.
All right, Nana, thank you so much for your time. Let's see then what happens in the next couple of days. That's Joburg EMS spokesperson Nana Radebe Kgiba.